Welcome to Mary Queen Stories, the official podcast of Mary Queen of the Holy Rosary Parish in Lexington, Kentucky. Our mission is to receive God's love, proclaim the greatness of the Lord, serve joyfully, and make missionary disciples of Jesus Christ. I'm your host, Jennifer Longworth, Communications and Parish Life Coordinator at Mary Queen. Today on Mary Queen Stories, I'm happy to welcome Benny and Brennan Towles to the program. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
Happy to be here.
So Tell me a little bit about yourselves. Who are we talking to today?
So my name is Brennan. I grew up in the diocese. I went to Christ the King for school and to Lexington Catholic for high school, and have just been really blessed with being able to stay in Lexington and help out with some of the other parishes here. And I guess through young adult ministry is actually where I met my husband, Benny.
A totally different background than you. I grew up in northern Kentucky. Went to Highlands for a good bit, and then my junior and senior year went to Bourbon County. Big cultural difference there.
Yeah.
City of the country, call me a yuppie here and there, like they say in Duck Dynasty. But no, I grew up Catholic, wasn't really into my faith that much, and it wasn't until my parents moved to Paris and they met a great priest, Father Danny Pfister. It was through him they became super Catholic with my brother's help as well. So my brother was a focused missionary for a while,
wow.
and
Very
now he
cool.
works at Christ the King in Baton Rouge. So,
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. And you developed your faith along the journey with seeing your family.
Well, yeah, mostly my brother Pat. He helped me out tremendously. But my parents, and it doesn't hurt to have parents that you can go to. If you only have one person, it's kind of but you have multiple. It's very easy to have a conversation about Jesus.
So we're here today to talk about the importance of young adult ministry in the diocese. Are you all leaders of small groups, or what's your involvement look like?
So I think, I guess when the pandemic happened, there's a couple of things that were happening, like ID 916, just some things that were like for the whole diocese for young adults that got shut down due to that. And so during pandemic, me and a couple other people are like, we need to bring events back because it's just so important for young adults to get together. So he and I were kind of on the front end of that with bringing some small events back. We brought something back called Mass Madness that was like go to mass, like daily mass, and then go get a meal after.
Yeah.
And that actually was a really big hit. So we had a lot of fun with that. And then since then, I've been helping out a little bit more with Christ the King's young adult ministry, and we're both in a small group.
I helped with the Newman Center a lot. I helped with one of the first formals they had, and then they started to do formals after that. But yeah, and I would do guys' nights probably every other weekend. We'd have something. Once you get that house and that guy that can cook, you're set. You're set to go. Just get, hey, poker night. Hey, this night, that night, But that stuck with me, and just to try to be inclusive as possible.
So how do you define young adult?
That's so hard. I think like if you look up demographics, it's like 18 to I think 40 maybe, but it's just anyone who's young at heart, and just a majority of the people are not married. I'll say that too. So that's
like 21 to 40.
Yeah. So I guess that's kind of true.
Or grad student at least.
Yeah.
That's who you're seeing. You're not seeing as many college kids.
Right. A lot.
So-
Well, and if it's grad student, yeah.
Yeah,
so-
grad
mhm.
students and then up. But there's people who are starting an early career and all of that stuff.
Yeah, we just went to a swing dance event, and that was quite entertaining.
Yeah, at the cathedral. Yeah, it was a
it
Newman
was
Center person
fun.
set it up, and it was great. Yeah.
It wasn't like huge, like had all the caboodles and stuff, but it was just pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why is this important?
Community is very important. I think without community, you deprive yourself of so much joy that the Lord wants you to have. And you can't, He gives us these joys, these pains, these sorrows, all these emotions to not keep in ourselves, but to share with the world. And so they can share it with us, and they can help us, and we can help them in return. So I think it's important, when you go and look at the disciples, and The Chosen does this great. I love The Chosen. And just like Jesus had his 12 apostles, and you just see them just talk. And sometimes when you talk about, Jesus, they talk about, hey, how was your day? It's, and I think that's beautiful. And, Jesus could have done it on his own, but he chose not to. So why should we choose to do it on our own,
I think too what's cool is that Benny and I are both involved like with wider scale events that are co-ed, but then also we are both involved with like a small group. So I have a women's small group, he's in a men's small group.
It's not really a small group.
Well, his a little bit bigger than mine, but I think
mine has 27 in building, but they don't come. We have like around an average of like 13 that show up.
I was gonna say just like having our own separate groups with our own gender and everything, like that's been so helpful too. Just because women and men, I think they explore the faith differently, and so for both of us to have those people to fall back on outside of our marriage has just been such a blessing.
So how did you get involved in the young adult ministry world?
I've always been intrigued in young adult community because of the Newman Center and because I, was helping with the events there, and just doing events outside of the Newman Center. We'd invite all types of people. One of my buddies said to me once, we were at a Bible study, but we decided to go to a burger joint, and he's like, "What I like about you is you're inclusive." And so I was on the way home, and I was like, "Who do I invite? I don't know if these people would fit in together." And I was like, "You know what? Screw it. Let's invite them all."
Yeah.
What would Jesus do? And I ended up being friends with people that I never thought that I'd be friends with, and they made a lot of impacts on me in certain times in my life that, it mattered the most. So I've always just been intrigued. And plus I love partying, love going to events, love having fun with people, especially fellow Catholics,
People person over there.
I mean, Jesus' first miracle was, hey, we ran out of wine, let's make some more,
Yeah.
So I did go to Catholic growing up, and so I've known Father Norman for a long time. And so that like transitional part after college, I was more heavily involved with St. Peter Claver. And Father Norman kind of helped me over there with like figure out, okay, how can we get young adults together over there at that parish? So he's so good at like getting people together. So I think through him, just taking everything that he taught us, me and him, and just bringing that to the table is kind of how we both got involved with it again. And just seeing like there is a need for it. There's stuff for youth group. There's stuff for, people who are like older and married with kids, whatever. But like there's not a lot for young adults. And so to make sure that we include them in something so that they feel wanted and needed, and that they have a community was so important to both of us.
Back when I was a young adult, so many years ago, I was at a different church. I wasn't Catholic yet. I hadn't converted yet, but it's like a black hole. Yeah. I mean, sometimes there's a college ministry if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Or you lean on Newman Center or campus ministry.
You on SCF, whatever.
Oh, Christian Student Fellowship.
Yeah.
At UK.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's other. Yeah. The different denominations have their own college ministries and stuff. But then after you graduate from college, what now? And this is where
like here.
Right. Yeah. There's like a big hole that needs to be filled in. And honestly, that to me at least, I feel like that's the more difficult part when you're out of college, because you lose that community pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, now what do I do? Depending on where you're living and who's there. And I think if you're not connected with the church, I think you can find yourself in dark places really quickly.
True.
Yeah. I think if you have certain people, like, for example, like going to like gatherings, it doesn't have to be the diocese has to put it together. Like Joe Schmo could put it together, or John Smith could put it together. For example, like sometimes like I'll be in my group chat, and pretty big group chat, and people are like, hey, Jake's Cigar Bar, you want to go watch the game? I'm like, let's go do it. Nice. We get 3 or 4 guys that go, and like, 3 or 4 guys, pretty good people, Yeah. It's quality over quantity. Yeah. You can create an event easily, just like, hey, let's just watch the game, Yeah. So.
And I remember also in that phase of life, the young adults, y'all might be in the same age bracket, but everybody's at a different place in life. You mentioned graduate students or early career or newly married, not married, never going to get married, maybe once the only reason I'm here is because I want to get married. So is that what you all have seen too, is just a wide variety of life?
Oh,
it's cool because some of my friends now are like getting into relationships, and it's just cool to see them go through that. I have a friend that's like not married, and then I have a friend that's been married for 4 years and has a kid, and then I have a friend who's been married for like 7 years and has 3 kids. We all like can find a common ground, and it's cool, and it's it's pretty awesome. I have like 5 guys in my Bible study who are engaged. So
Aw.
yeah, it's pretty wild. So
It's like the most diverse age group in a way. Not but necessarily by age, but just by stage. Like you said, stages of life. They can be so crazy, just like single, married, has a child, has a house, whatever. So it's just been kind of a cool it's a unique transitional period, but it is a really important one to be grounded and find your roots in. And so we've really enjoyed cultivating that over the last couple of years.
and one day when we having a house, being a house owner, it's pretty cool because you could have people come over, so one day when we're house looking, when we'll put that into account, like, hey, can we, host people,
Yeah.
I'm a host person at heart. Love my mother. She just big host person. I mean, we grew up in a 2-bedroom house. Then we went to like a 4 or 5-bedroom house in Paris. And it's just, my guys, when I was in high school, I'd be like, hey, y'all want to come out to Paris, watch the game? And like some of y'all could stay the night. And they'd be like, yeah, because it's Lexington's kind of crazy. And sometimes you just want to get away, especially when you're in college and it's finals and homework.
You came to UK then?
I went to VCTC, but I hang out with a lot of UK people.
Yeah.
And they come out and be like, yeah, this is just a great, relaxation. You
Yeah.
know? Plus, I have awesome dogs, so they love to hang out with those dogs. So, yeah.
What would you say to people who are no longer young adults who want to give back and nurture that population?
I feel like just telling them keep praying for us, but then also if people want to help with an event or in some capacity, if they have space or anything, that would be awesome. But also if we post an event, if you know a young adult, help us spread the word about any events coming up. So I help out with Christ the King. They have a specific group called the Arise Ministries, and they started that I think this past year. It's a little bit more structured. The stuff that we do is more of
It's unstructured.
It's more informal, but I think it does a good job. We'll even do one-on-ones with people.
Yeah.
Even the small thing of inviting someone over to your house to eat a meal, that's huge, So just it doesn't have to be a huge, large-scale event. It can be just hey, let's go grab coffee, let's talk, let's catch up. How's your faith life? Just something like that to make sure.
We try to not invite multiple people. I mean, we do on the weekends, but during the week, hey, for example, one of my buddies, I'm like, hey, he's vegetarian. Hey, do you want to? My wife's going to make that big spaghetti that you like, and I like. You want to come over? You didn't play a card game. And he's like, I would love that.
Aww, yeah.
But we just host things all the time. But for example, we this past Christmas, we have a small apartment, 1 bedroom, and we made 17 or 18 people work. It was great.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And we did a white elephant, and it was
So fun.
a really exciting time.
Yeah.
And she always freaks out beforehand, but I'm like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay,
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun, and I was at Bible study, and one of the guys is being single is great, but it's good because Benny, will always invite me to things, and I'll have opportunity.
Yeah.
So all my guys have been in my apartment multiple times, probably. Plus, during the summer, we have a pool, and we can have guests at that pool, and a lot of my friends sometimes take advantage, but it's okay. I let them,
Yeah. So how do I convince a young adult who's disconnected to get involved?
I think that's just more on how we would reach out to them. I feel for that type of thing, if someone at the parish had approached us about someone, I think we would try to make an initial contact and say, hey, let's go grab a coffee, just a one-on-one.
Okay.
And then go from there and just say, hey, if you need anything, we're happy to support you in whatever way we can. And then tell them about just the beauty of community that we both have found through the other young adult events going on, and try to get them plugged in if we're able.
Okay.
Yeah. What about Ethan?
A lot of people like to do one-on-one first, and others don't. My Bible study has a habit of inviting people, and then they just get on the group chat. And once you're in the group chat, it's pretty much. There's one time where I was sitting at my apartment, and I was like, "Hey, honey, we got 3 or 4 different events going on my group chat. These people are going there, these people are going there, these people are going there, but I'm staying here with you tonight. I was out with them last night, But it's always nice to have that, and it's always nice to know as a husband that my wife has that.
Yeah.
And it gets more fun when you put the 2 Bible studies together, and see how they interact. But it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's stressful at times, but it's fun.
So how has being a part of these communities helped your faith grow?
Both of our prayer life has just been very blessed. I also do music ministry with Christ the King. So I play drums. I play drums at St. Peter Claver, and I also help out Christ the King's worship band. And so I love faith through music. I think it's so beautiful. So that's grown a lot just with their events, but then also just prayer life in general. Both of our small groups have done a really good job of cultivating that. But
I feel like your small group copies mine.
maybe okay. My small group, we started doing 5 a.m. adoration on Wednesday.
Mine was doing 6 a.m. on Friday. And you just copied. It's fine.
But it's been so good. Like even that, just like weekly, trying to do or encourage everyone to do a rosary once a day or once a week, and obviously go to mass. I think that's the fun part too. It's like being able to text people and say, "Hey, what time are y'all going to mass at?" and making that a social thing. So I think it's just really overall the whole person. And then I'm currently like looking for a new job, so just like the connections that we made have just been insane. And so just being able to be like, hey, like you just know so many people now at different parishes and with different skill sets, and it's like it just feels good to know that we have a really strong community to lean on if we ever needed any help or anything at all. But I think most importantly, our faith life has just been amazing.
It's helped me tremendously over the past, I want to say, how long have we been married for? 8 months?
Yeah.
Like over the past 8 months, getting our apartment has been great because, and even before that, I lived with my buddy and he had a house and we would have events all the time and it was great. And every time we would, he'd be like, hey, we call it the roommate rosary, or we just, him and I would say rosary together. Sometimes somebody else would be there. We'd let them. And, she'd come over every Wednesday when we were planning on a wedding and we'd say rosary. She'd bring us dinner. Just having those small moments with those people is just so pure and great. And it's made me care more about people. And it's made me want to dive deep into the certain individual's life, and she can cook like no other. So all of my friends just love coming over. Is she cooking? Is she cooking? Are you getting takeouts? She's cooking. Oh, let's go. She's cooking. This is great.
Aww.
It is stressful, when you have a one-bedroom apartment, but God has blessed us in so many ways, especially in our marriage. Her parents are incredible to us. My parents are incredible to us. Our friends are. We have a great support system, and it just brings more people as your support system. Now, you don't want 50 different people in your support system, maybe 2 or 3. We have a certain group message with 2 other friends that are just, it's a really good, group message that we can kind of talk to, so.
So tell me a little bit about how you serve the Catholic community in your business.
So I've been doing photography for years, and this past year in 2024, we finally made it an official business. We prayed about it a lot. Father Norman was kind of involved with the name. It's Little Flower Photography off of St. Teresa Lisieux, who we absolutely love. The whole goal of it is just sacramental Catholic photography, and with the biggest mindset of being weddings. And it's just been such a gift. We've traveled a good chunk of Kentucky for Catholic weddings. We've gotten some in Ohio. And so it's just been a blessing to serve young adult Catholics and not only be with them during their engagement season, as Ben and I got married last May. So we were all kind of in that season with them, but also just pray for the couple and make sure that they have a support system outside of just us being their photographer, but us being their prayer warriors, helping out in any way that we can. And it's just been such a beautiful gift for Benny and I to do together as a couple.
If I can add on that, just seeing all the beautiful churches all these people get married in is really cool. And just, getting married, it's a big deal, know? And it's a pretty big sacrament. And to see all these couples, because we'll do their engagement sometimes and then the wedding. And it's just, and then we do newborn pictures. So when they have a kid, we'll do that. And it's just watching them go through life and being able to document that for them is so beautiful.
Yeah.
So do you do baptisms and first communions as well?
Yeah, we do it all. I think we got booked for Easter Vigil already through one of the parishes already. So
nice.
Yeah. So it's been such a big blessing for both of us to work on it together.
We did Father Norman's funeral too, which was pretty wild.
That was pretty insane. But we were grateful that they asked us. We didn't think we were going. We didn't even think that they needed it. We didn't know that was a thing. So
it was last minute, and I was all right, let's do it.
Yeah.
So you work on this business together?
Yes.
So
I'd say 70-30. I'm 70, she's 30. I'm 10. She's 70, I'm 30.
okay.
But when she wants to teach me something, I put my phone away. That's not a lie, and I do what she tells me to do. You know?
Benny's mainly my second shooter, so I run all the back end business, social media marketing, all that. That's all that stuff, and then Ben will do the
like I'll go to where the groomsmen are getting ready and kind of hang out with them, talk with them, and just take pictures.
Yeah,
that's cool to see. You know,
yeah.
I meet a lot of cool guys, and it's a lot of fun. I love doing that with my wife, and it's been a journey, and I mean it's helped us out a little bit financially, and I mean we're not making a lot, but you know it's helped us.
Yeah.
So
as guests of Mary Queen Stories, I always ask which phrase of the Mary Queen mission statement resonates with you. So I'll repeat it and to remind you, and then we'll reflect on which phrase resonates with you. So the Mary Queen mission statement is to receive God's love, proclaim the greatness of the Lord, serve joyfully, and to make missionary disciples of Jesus Christ. Who wants to go first?
That's all real. Make missionaries disciples of Jesus Christ. I just love getting together with guys and just spreading the gospel with them. Whether if it's through a beer, a cigar, or whether we are doing horrible on the golf course, or whether it's at the poolside, with a drink. I love just talking to them, getting to know them, getting deeper in relationship with them, and they teach me a lot of things. But making missionary disciples of men is what I want to do. Not when I have sons. I pray I have all sons, because daughters would be a lot. But if I have daughters, I'll be happy. But I want to instill that in them as well. So,
I was gonna say serve joyfully. I think, with me just growing up serving the church as a young person, and then doing that now with music and everything, it's just kind of been instilled in me. But also just serving the young adults too. Just how grateful we've been with that, and how much goodness we've received from doing that. Never have had a problem serving the Lord, and just the gifts that we've received back from serving the church in any sort of capacity has just been such a blessing. So I would say that one resonates with me the most.
Any closing words, thoughts of encouragement or anything?
God is good all the time.
All the time, God is good.
Yes, amen.
Well, thank you all so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Thank you for listening to Mary Queen Stories. To connect with us, visit mqhr.org/podcast. Until next time, and always, Mary Queen of the Holy Rosary, pray for us. Be sure to tune in to our next episode, where we will have Chrissy and David talking about the young adult ministries at Mary Queen of the Holy Rosary.